All right, Chumbas, buckle up because you guys wanted it, and now we're diving deep into Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition.
Deeper than a brain dance session with Judy Alvarez.
Exactly. We're talking straight from the source, developer insights,
Juicy quotes straight from CD Projekt Red.
and all those little details that make Night City so damn captivating.
We've got a booklet crammed with intel.
Behind-the-scenes commentary from the devs themselves,
Think of this as your cheat sheet to becoming a legend in Night City.
going way beyond the basics.
What I think is really fascinating here is how this Ultimate Edition is like a decoder ring to CDPR's vision for this whole world,
It's true. It's not just playing the game, it's understanding their process.
peeling back the layers.
Okay, so let's jack in and start with the essentials. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition bundles the base game,
With the Phantom Liberty expansion,
all in one package. So new players, you're in for a treat.
you get to craft your V,
From scratch, the whole 9 yards,
looks, voice, the whole shebang.
and then you choose your life path.
Nomad, Street Kid, Corpo,
Each one gives you a different starting point.
and it flavors all your interactions in the game.
Flavors is a good word for it.
Kind of sets the tone right. But here's a curveball, though.
Oh.
The booklet actually mentions that those life path choices,
The ones you make at the very beginning?
right, in the base game, well, they don't dictate how Phantom Liberty starts.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's a fresh start for every player in the expansion.
Okay.
But your life path still colors your dialogue and how some characters react to you.
Mm.
So it's like this really cool layer of continuity.
Ooh, sneaky.
Right. It makes you think about how those early choices are going to echo in the expansion story.
It really does. Now, once you're in Night City, it's all about those attribute points.
Body, intelligence, reflexes.
Heck and kill.
These really shape your V's strengths, whether you want to be,
A cybernetically enhanced bruiser.
or a stealthy net runner hacking your way through systems.
Ooh, stealthy.
Right. And then there's that relic skill tree.
Tied to that biochip, right?
Exactly. The one that V gets tangled up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that unlocks after a certain point in the main story.
I'm not going to spoil anything.
No spoilers. But let's just say it opens up a whole new dimension to how you play.
It's like unlocking V's true potential.
Ooh, I like that.
Right.
Now, while we're talking about unlocking potential, let's get to the good stuff.
Update 2.1.
Yes, say. Dropped some serious goodies, new content,
And the best part,
free.
for everyone who already owns the game.
CDPR really giving back to the players.
Oh, yeah. They're clearly listening to the community.
So what I think is really exciting is how these additions
They really deepen your connection to Night City.
really make you feel like you're part of that world.
Exactly. You can finally ride the end cart in real time now.
No way.
Yeah. Watch the city go by.
Just like everyone else.
And you're alongside NPCs, too.
Wow, that's going to add to the immersion.
Oh, absolutely.
And-
It's not just a fast travel system anymore.
It's woven into the city.
It's part of the fabric.
Okay, I gotta say, I love when games add those little things.
The details.
The details. They make a world come to life.
Speaking of shaking things up,
They revamped the Atom Smasher boss fight.
they did. No specifics yet.
But the booklet teases
That he's a whole new beast.
Oh, I bet.
So for those who have faced him before, get ready for round 2.
Makes you wonder how they redesigned it, right?
It's a good question. Like, do they make it harder?
More strategic.
Or do they flip the script and give you something completely new?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Me too. There's also sleek new vehicles.
And they amped up the bike combat, seriously.
Yeah, and get this, they added the Porsche 911 Cabriolet
No way.
1989 model.
Talk about cruising Night City in style.
Plus, you can throw knives and axes from your bike now.
Ooh, some epic drive-by takedowns.
For sure. And if you prefer the scenic route,
Yeah.
they added Vista Points.
Ooh, nice.
Just pure, unadulterated beauty, showing off Night City's visuals.
Without the risk of getting shot at.
Exactly. It's a great way to appreciate all the artistry.
And more radio stations.
Of course. Gotta have more tunes.
Fuel those cyberpunk adventures.
Exactly. And they made the Beast in Me races replayable.
Yes. I loved those races.
Me too.
So being able to go back and push for a new best time.
It's awesome. And of course, under the hood, there are tons of UI and performance tweaks.
But enough tech talk, let's get to the good stuff.
Building your perfect cyberpunk.
The booklet gives us 2 example builds.
And they're juicy.
They really are. It's like having a personal trainer for your Night City career.
The first one is the indestructible tank.
It's exactly what it sounds like, right? Max out body in tech.
Turn yourself into a battering ram.
A walking, talking battering ram.
You don't need healing inhalers with this build.
Nope. You just laugh in the face of danger.
You're wading into combat, soaking up damage.
Like a chrome-plated sponge.
The booklet recommends perks like ProTech.
Unlocks top-tier cyberware.
License to Chrome to push your cybernetic capacity.
And Phenom body.
To become unstoppable.
Like a force of nature.
Exactly. It's not just raw stats, though.
It's a whole philosophy, right?
It is. License to Chrome. Think about that. It speaks to that desperation to survive in Night City.
Pushing your body beyond its limits.
Especially in places like Pacifica.
It's a choice people have to make.
To survive.
And to complete the tank fantasy.
Shotguns early on.
Or that raw stopping power.
Then transition to LMGs.
Mow down enemies in a hail of lead.
Glorious.
They even give specific weapon recommendations.
Oh yeah, they go all in. The Guts shotgun.
Snag that from some monks near Memorial Park.
Not every day you find holy firepower.
It's true. And then there's the MA-70 XMOD2 LMG.
You'll want to grab that ASE in Dogtown.
Once you get access.
And they tease crafting power mods, too.
Oh, I love crafting.
Turning those weapons into absolute beasts.
It's like upgrading from street punk to cybernetic killing machine.
Now, for those who prefer a more surgical approach...
Ooh, tell me more.
There's the Stealth Shotgun Tech Runner build.
I like where this is going.
Tech and intelligence are your focus here.
Okay.
So you blend into the shadows.
Become a ghost in the machine.
Strike with precision.
Oh, I love that.
Devastating bursts of damage.
It plays into that classic cyberpunk fantasy, you know?
Yeah, totally. Digital Phantom.
Manipulating the system.
From the inside.
The build really emphasizes overclock cyberware.
Boosting your hacking.
Queue up multiple hacks.
Cripple your enemies before they even know it hit them.
And rain down those grenades.
Oh yeah, gotta have those grenades.
So it's all about speed and surprise.
Overwhelming firepower.
Early on, you prioritize those healing and grenade perks.
I'll just stay alive.
And boost that cyberware capacity.
Then later you lean into that optical camo.
For stealth.
And the cool tree for crowd control.
It's like becoming a digital ninja.
Appearing and disappearing at will.
Leaving a trail of chaos.
They mentioned some crucial cyberdeck choices too.
Oh yeah. Which ones?
You start with the Arasaka Shadow.
Solid all-rounder.
But the Militech Kanto becomes available through story decisions in Phantom Liberty.
Ooh, sounds like those choices really matter.
They do. But let's zoom out for a second and talk about Night City itself.
Because it's more than just a backdrop, right?
You're practically a character.
What's mind-blowing to me is that density, that verticality.
It's sensory overload, you're right.
Towering mega buildings.
Blinding neon.
LEDs everywhere.
It's like the city's trying to consume you.
But there's beauty in that chaos, too.
There is.
It reflects that human drive to create.
Even in the face of decay and dystopia.
Classic cyberpunk aesthetic.
Where beauty and ugliness are intertwined.
Yeah, I love.
But beneath that chaos, there's a deep history, too.
Yeah.
A sense that corporations, poverty, gangs...
They've all shaped the city.
You can feel the weight of the past.
In every alleyway.
Every skyscraper.
And each district has its own identity.
Its own story to tell.
Like city center.
Sleek corporate towers.
Watson, a bustling hub.
Immigrants.
Tech hustler.
All those flickering neon signs and the street food.
And then there's Pacifica.
Ravaged by gang violence.
And corporate abandonment.
Danger around every corner.
But opportunity whispers in the shadows.
It does.
And you can explore all of it seamlessly.
No loading screens.
You can walk, drive, ride.
From one end to the other.
At your own pace.
And there are no traditional cutscenes either.
You're always in control.
Experiencing everything through V's eyes.
It makes those choices feel real.
It's that player agency.
Yeah.
That makes Cyberpunk 2077 stand out.
You're not just watching the story, you're writing it.
With every choice.
Okay, enough sightseeing, though.
Time for weapons.
We are in Night City, after all.
We need some serious firepower.
What's cool about the arsenal in this game?
So many things. But the variety?
And the grounded design?
Even the futuristic tech feels believable.
Like it could actually exist.
It could.
Adds to the immersion.
You've got smart guns that track their targets.
Shotguns that ricochet off walls.
And iconic weapons.
With their own backstories and quirks.
You have to meet Skippy.
Skippy.
Oh, you'll see.
Sounds like I'm in for a surprise.
You are. But what's important is that believability.
Like we were talking about.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're actually holding these weapons.
Not just playing a game.
Right.
And there's a weapon for every playstyle.
Whether you're a run-and-gun solo,
A stealthy netrunner,
or a techie who loves to tinker,
you can be a gunslinger, a hacker,
or a blend of both,
tailor your approach.
to suit your style.
Now with the Ultimate Edition,
Vehicular combat.
imagine this. You're tearing through Night City,
On your bike, katana in hand,
slicing through enemies,
dodging bullets,
or you're behind the wheel of a souped-up car
laying down, suppressing fire.
with a mounted minigun.
It's a whole new level of action,
Cinematic.
like something out of a movie.
Speaking of cinematic experiences,
The soundtrack
no Night City adventure is complete without the right music.
and Cyberpunk 2077 nails it.
A diverse range of radio stations.
They capture the city's vibes perfectly,
Think of it as a sonic tapestry.
woven from the city's soul.
You've got Royal Blue Radio with that smooth jazz.
Perfect for those late-night drives.
Ritual FM, cranking up that industrial metal.
For the Maelstrom crowd.
And 9CR with those cutting-edge electronic beats.
Perfect for hacking those corporate mainframes.
And that's just scratching the surface.
Each station represents a different part of Night City's culture.
Adds to the atmosphere.
Oh, absolutely. And don't forget 30 Principles,
Oh yeah, with the Latino music.
favorite among the Valentinos,
It's those little details.
that make the world feel alive.
Speaking of bringing things to life, let's talk about the tech behind it all.
The next-gen and PC enhancements.
The booklet dives into it.
They're impressive.
Patch 1.5 was a game changer,
Focused on performance.
squeezing every last drop out of new-gen consoles and PCs.
And then there's ray tracing.
Brings a whole new level of realism.
Light reflecting and refracting off surfaces.
And for those with the top-of-the-line RTX 40 series GPUs.
Overdrive mode.
Okay, overdrive mode. What's that all about?
Imagine ray tracing on steroids.
Whoa.
It uses path tracing.
Which is?
It's an even more advanced form of ray tracing.
Okay.
It simulates every single ray of light.
Wow.
The result is the most realistic and dynamic lighting.
Ever seen in a game.
You're not just playing anymore, you're living in it.
That sounds incredible. But what about those of us who don't have,
NASA supercomputer for a PC.
exact...
GeForce Now.
Oh yeah, cloud gaming.
You can stream Cyberpunk 2077 with all the bells and whistles.
Even path tracing.
So even if you don't have the latest hardware,
You can still experience Night City.
in all its glory.
Accessibility is so important.
It is. Especially for a game as visually demanding as this one.
They also mentioned DLSS 3.5.
Uses AI to boost performance.
Even with those demanding settings.
And for Xbox Series consoles, there's FSR 2.1.
Enhances frame rates and resolution.
It's great that they're optimizing for all platforms.
Making sure everyone can experience the game at its best.
Shows their dedication.
To their craft.
They're not just pushing the boundaries of technology.
They're making sure everyone can come along.
For the ride.
Now let's talk characters. The heart of any good story.
And Cyberpunk 2077 has an unforgettable cast.
They're not just quest givers or background NPCs.
They feel like real people.
Living, breathing inhabitants of Night City.
They've got their own dream.
Ambitions. You'll meet cyberpunks hungry for fame.
Techies pushing the limits.
Fixers operating in the shadows.
Corporate sharks swimming in a sea of greed.
It's a world teeming with life.
And every character you meet adds to the tapestry.
The booklet starts with V, our protagonist,
Cyberpunk for hire.
seeking fame and fortune.
In the unforgiving streets of Night City.
But things get complicated quickly.
The Relic.
That biochip we talked about.
And then there's the ghost in the machine, Johnny Silverhand.
Legendary rocker boy.
Whose consciousness is trapped in V's head.
It's like having a digital devil on your shoulder,
Whispering temptations.
urging you towards chaos.
He's got his own agenda, his own demons.
And the booklet teases that your choices.
They influence how your relationship develops.
Will you clash or find common ground?
Will you be allies, or will you be consumed by his influence?
I can't wait to see how that plays out.
It's a fascinating dynamic.
It really is. Now, besides Johnny, the booklet spotlights some other key characters.
Like Judy Alvarez.
Talented brain dance technician.
Heart of gold. Fiercely independent.
Yes, he is a master of brain dance.
That technology that lets you experience other people's memories and emotions.
It's huge in Night City,
For entertainment.
but it's got a dark side.
One that Judy knows all too well.
Then there's Pam and Palmer,
Nomad mercenary.
torn between her clan and the city.
Tough as nails.
Skilled in combat,
Fiercely loyal.
but underneath that exterior,
There's vulnerability.
yeah, she's yearning for something more.
Her relationship with V has the potential to be explosive.
fueled by danger.
and a mutual understanding of being an outsider in Night City
It's that mix of strength and vulnerability.
that makes these characters so compelling.
They're not just archetypes.
They're fleshed out individuals with their own scars and stories.
And the supporting cast goes even deeper.
There's Carrie Uridine,
Former samurai bassist.
haunted by his past with Johnny Silverhand,
He's still clinging to the glory days.
even as he struggles to find his place.
Then there's Rogue.
OG cyberpunk turned fixer,
She's seen it all.
but done it all.
Knows all the city's secrets.
A survivor.
A force to be reckoned with.
Her guidance can be invaluable to V.
But it comes at a price.
And let's not forget the Arasaka siblings,
Yorinobu and Hanako.
trapped in corporate intrigue,
And family betrayal.
caught between their father's legacy and their own ambitions.
They represent the elite of Night City.
Born into power and privilege.
But their lives are far from easy.
Their choices will have a ripple effect on the city.
And V might just get caught in the crossfire.
It's going to be intense.
It is. We're just getting started, folks. Join us in part 2
As we dive deeper
into the lore
in the choices
that await you.
in Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time, we got a taste of Night City's characters and the kind of cyberpunk you can become. But now,
Let's delve into the city itself.
yeah, into that concrete jungle,
We talked about those different districts.
that awesome sense of scale, right?
Yeah, but the booklet goes even deeper.
Not just about the skyscrapers and neon.
It's about the history, the different cultures, how everything feels so layered.
It's true. And what's so impressive is that the game doesn't just show you this world.
It makes you feel it.
Right. Think about the visual contrast, like,
You mentioned City Center with those sleek corporate towers.
and then you've got Watson with that vibrant street life.
It's a stark contrast.
It reflects the power dynamics, right? The
Sure.
haves and have-nots.
It's like each district is a little piece of the city's soul.
A microcosm.
Yeah, you walk through City Center,
You can practically smell the ambition, the corruption,
and then you wander into Watson's.
and you're surrounded by that everyday hustle.
Immigrants trying to make a living.
Techies chasing their dreams.
It's all there.
It's that attention to detail,
Yeah.
that layering of visual storytelling.
That makes it feel so real.
So alive. And it goes beyond just the architecture, too.
It's in the graffiti, the fashion, even the music.
The people you meet.
Every little thing contributes
To that overall tapestry.
creating this world that feels lived in,
a world that has a history.
beautiful and brutal at the same time.
And the booklet actually goes into that history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
Takes us back to the founding of Night City.
By Richard Knight.
He envisioned it as this beacon of progress, innovation.
A place where dreams could be built.
Ironic considering what it's become.
Kind of a classic cyberpunk trope, though, right?
It is. That fall from grace, the utopian dream turned dystopian nightmare.
Corporate greed, social inequality,
Unchecked technology
it all played a part.
in Night City's descent into chaos.
But even in that chaos,
There's still hope, right?
a sense of resilience.
The human spirit shining through.
In those dark corners,
You see it in the characters.
the side quests.
Those little details CDPR sprinkled in.
Speaking of exploring those details,
Let's get back to those 10 things to do in Night City.
we talked about the street photography, but what about the rest?
Well, remember how we talked about Pacifica?
That failed Utopia.
Heavily guarded.
But the booklet says there's a reason to brave those dangers.
A thriving black market,
Ooh.
offering rare goods.
For those who are willing to take the risk.
It's a perfect example of how cyberpunk rewards exploration.
Even in a district that's been abandoned, there's still that pulse.
That hidden economy.
Driven by necessity and opportunity.
It's the cyberpunk ethos.
In a nutshell.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And then there's the whole gig economy aspect.
Oh yeah, you're cyberpunk for hire.
A mercenary.
Fixers are your point of contact.
Offering job.
From data theft to assassinations.
It's how you make a name for yourself.
Earn those eddies.
Gain street cred.
But it's not just about the money either.
It's the stories you uncover.
The encounters.
The choices you make.
It's about making your own path through that underworld.
And speaking of making your own path,
The booklet really emphasizes the freedom to reinvent yourself.
the Ripper Docs play a big role in that.
They can change your appearance, enhance your body.
Even install new skills and personalities.
It's wild. It reflects those transhumanist themes running through cyberpunk.
It raises some interesting questions, though, right? What happens to our sense of self when we can modify our bodies and minds so easily?
Yeah. Where do we draw the line between human and machine?
Cyberpunk throws those questions right at you.
Makes you think.
It's not all existential crises, though.
Thank goodness for that.
The booklet reminds us that even in Night City,
People find time for love.
for connection,
It's true.
romance in the time of cybernetics.
What a concept.
The booklet hints at those diverse romance options.
Characters with their own stories and personalities.
You can find that whirlwind romance,
Or a long-term partner.
those moments of intimacy and vulnerability.
Even amidst the chaos.
It's a reminder that human connection is still a fundamental need.
Even in a dystopian world.
We crave that intimacy, that love,
It's what makes us human.
even when we're pushing the boundaries of what it means to be alive.
And if you want a more permanent connection to Night City,
You can buy apartments
in different districts, imagine waking up in a luxury penthouse
overlooking the city center skyline.
or settling into a cozy studio in Watson.
Each apartment offers a different perspective,
It's about making Night City feel like home,
even if it's temporary.
creating a space that reflects your character's journey.
Speaking of journeys, remember how we talked about the Cyberpunk community?
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
The booklet's full of examples of their creativity, their passion.
It's not just about playing the game.
It's about making it their own.
Through fan art, mods, cosplays,
Even those in-depth analyses.
they really dive deep into the lore,
It's incredible how much this game has resonated with people
inspiring them to create.
to share their own interpretations.
Yeah. It's a testament to CDPR's world building.
How games can be more than just entertainment.
They can be platforms for creativity, for connection.
And CDPR gets that. They really value that connection with their players.
Yeah.
They've been so active in engaging with the community,
Events.
like the Phantom Liberty Tour
Bringing the game to fans around the world.
and that epic launch party in London.
Hundreds of community members.
Special guests.
Idris Elba even showed up.
It's so cool to see a studio give back to their fans like that.
Celebrate their passion.
They're not just making a game, they're building a world
Together.
with their fans.
Incorporating their ideas, their feedback.
It's a true collaboration.
So we've explored Night City.
From those towering skyscrapers to those hidden alleyways,
We've gone through its history,
met its diverse inhabitants,
seen how the community has embraced it.
and made it their own.
But there's one more layer to this experience.
One that sets the mood, heightens the emotion,
And really immerses you completely.
the music of Night City.
Welcome back, Choombas. It's the final leg of our Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition deep dive, and
We saved the best for last.
so the music. Let's be real.
The right music can make or break a game.
When it comes to atmosphere,
Absolutely. And Cyberpunk 2077,
it doesn't just have music
it has a soundscape.
that pulls you right in.
Hasn't let go.
We talked about those killer radio stations, but
The original score,
that's where the real magic is.
Marcin Przewojewicz, P.T. Adamczyk, Jij Pietrzakowski,
And Paul Leonard Morgan for the base game.
they created something special.
The booklet talks about how they blended all these genres together.
Electronic industrial rock.
Even some traditional Eastern European folk music.
It's like they took the soul of Night City.
And turned it into sound.
And it's not just generic cyberpunk music either.
It's so much more than that.
The score is dynamically integrated into the gameplay.
So it reacts to what you're doing.
Imagine you're sneaking through those alleys in Pacifica.
Tension's high.
The music will match that,
All moody and atmospheric.
building the suspense.
And then, bam! You get into a firefight with the Maelstrom gang.
And the music shifts.
Becomes this driving force.
Pounding beats.
Distorted synths.
Everything ramping up to match the intensity.
It's like the music is another character.
Reacting to your choices.
Amplifying those emotions.
Another level of immersion.
They highlight some of those standout tracks in the booklet.
V's theme is one.
Blends electronic and orchestral elements.
Captures V's ambition, that yearning for something more.
You can hear the hope, but also a touch of melancholy.
Reflecting that journey through Night City's underbelly.
And then there's the rebel path.
Pure adrenaline.
If you're going for that punk rocker playthrough,
Defying authority.
this is your anthem.
Racing through the streets.
Modded out bike,
The rebel path blasting on the radio.
taking down anyone in your way.
Pure cyberpunk energy.
They also mention the heist.
For those tense moments.
Sneaking through an Arasaka skyscraper.
Every step a risk.
The music builds that tension.
Pulsing synths.
Driving percussion.
Like you're in a cyberpunk thriller.
And we can't forget about those radio stations.
Samurai, Ritual FM, 9CR.
All those different vibes.
And don't underestimate those chill stations either.
Oh, yeah.
Like Royal Blue Radio, that smooth jazz.
Cruising through the city after a long job.
Neon reflections.
It's the perfect way to unwind.
After a night of cybernetic mayhem.
They even made a Spotify playlist.
With all the radio hits.
And the original score.
You gotta check it out.
Keep that cyberpunk vibe going.
Even when you're not playing.
That's clear.
The music in Cyberpunk 2077.
It's not just background noise.
It's essential.
It's woven into the gameplay, the story, the world itself.
Creates that atmosphere.
Exhilarating and haunting.
Reflecting Night City in all its glory.
So we've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We really have. From character builds to cybernetic enhancements.
From those neon streets to the music that brings it all to life.
We've seen how CD Projekt Red built this incredible world.
Rich with detail. Unforgettable characters.
And the Ultimate Edition, that's the complete package.
Everything Cyberpunk 2077 has to offer.
It's a world that invites you to get lost.
To embrace the chaos.
And forge your own path.
What really stands out to me is that community passion.
They've taken this world and made it their own.
Fan art, mods, cosplays.
Even those lore deep dives, it's mind-blowing.
It shows how powerful a well-crafted world can be.
And how it can inspire so much creativity.
CDPR has fostered that creativity.
Engaging with their players, listening to feedback.
Creating a dialogue that's really unique in the gaming world.
It's a reminder that games are more than just products.
They're shared experiences.
Collaborative journeys that bring people together.
So are you ready to jack in, Chumba?
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Ultimate Edition awaits.
Make your choices, forge your path.
Discover what kind of cyberpunk you'll become.
In the heart of Night City.
We'll be right here, diving into more fascinating worlds.
Ready to share the knowledge
On the stories
that make these experiences so compelling.
Stay curious.
Stay engaged.
And keep on diving.